Okay, everybody, the time is now 4:30. Um, and welcome everybody to our invited talk in week 8 from City University of Seattle, the School of Technology and Computing. This week's guest speaker is Dr. Kim Jin-Ho. He is an assistant professor of management information system at the Marlin David College of Business, University of Houston downtown. His research focuses on IT capability, big data analytics, digital infrastructure, and AI-powered entrepreneurship. So today he will be talking about how AI, no-code platforms, and AI-assisted development are lowering the barriers to venture creation and enabling many people to design, test, and launch out businesses with very limited resources. Dr. Kim?
Hello, everyone. Let me share my slide first. Okay, can you see my slide? Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for having me today. My name is Jin-Ho Kim. I'm an assistant professor of MIS, Management Information System at the University of Houston downtown. So today, I want to talk about, sorry, I didn't start my timer. I want to talk about something I believe in deeply, a future where AI make entrepreneurship accessible to all students, especially in IT area like you. I heard that you guys are all in computer science major. So not just the privileged few genius in Silicon Valley. But the title of my talk is Startup Business as a New Career Path. And my core argument is simple. AI has dramatically lowered the barrier to building product and services nowadays and accelerating this phenomenon more. So I believe starting a business is becoming a realistic career option for students. So over the next 40 or 45 minutes, I will walk you through why I believe this, to what skills the student need, and what roles universities should play in making this vision a reality. So let me briefly introduce myself. I am a professor at the College of Business at the University of Houston downtown. So like you, my undergraduate background is in computer science. So after graduation, I spent more than 10 to 14 years working in IT industry as a software engineer first, and then later an IT consultant after earning MBA degree at the University of Minnesota. So my current research focus on AI in education, IT capability, data science, and AI-based entrepreneurship. So back then, when I was a software engineer, the programming meant night without sleep, handling hundreds, thousands line of code, coordinating with a team of people. Even basic projects require deep technical expertise and significant time investment. But today, a single person can build a functional app in days, sometimes just hours, using AI. That transformation is what drives my mission. The gap between what was possible then and what is possible now is obvious. I believe that we, as a faculty, have a responsibility to help students to take advantage of this. So in response to this change, I have recently defined my personal mission like this. It is based on these two parts. First, setting the environment that helps students create startup using AI. I want to equip every student, not just the top performer or the gifted people, with the tools and mindset to turn their idea into real product and businesses. Second, the broaden access to entrepreneurship. With AI, starting a business should no longer be limited to a small group of elite people or well-connected founders. It should be achievable for the normal people like you and like me. So I want to be clear about this vision. The future I imagine is not one where only a few extraordinary talented people succeed, but one where people like our students use AI to create business, sustain themselves, and shape their own career path. This is not about chasing unicorn. It is about opening realistic and sustainable entrepreneurial opportunities for many students. Why did I set this goal? Because the job landscape is nowadays changing dramatically. We need to face that reality. So let me share some specific numbers that illustrate the scale of this challenge. First, 41%. Does it mean? The World Economic Forum published a report that 41% of companies plan workforce reduction as artificial intelligence expands. That's really nearly half of all companies actively planning to cut jobs because of the AI. 300 million. Goldman Sachs estimate that AI could replace almost 300 million full-time jobs globally. Somebody says that that's roughly the entire working population of the United States. And 15%, the impact, this impact is perhaps most visible among junior workers. Job listing for entry-level corporate role, traditionally available to recent college graduate. So this role have declined 15% over just the past year. This number should concern all of us in higher education. Our students are graduating into a job market that is actively shrinking in the area. In addition, we hear news report almost every day about a large number of people being laid off due to the adoption of AI. News from Google, Amazon Web Service, Meta, even Microsoft. This is the background that demand new approach. And the new approach is what I want to discuss today. Some people say, but AI will create new job too. And they're right. Many experts compare today's situation with the past industry revolution, and they predict AI will eventually generate entirely new job categories. And we can't even imagine yet. I agree with this assessment. Yeah, in the long term, we will eventually get many jobs, new jobs. But the thing is, when? Will this new job appear tomorrow, next week, in 5 years? I'm not sure. But I'm confident that it will not happen very soon. Always paradigm shift needs time. There's always a painful gap between when old jobs disappear and when new ones emerge at scale. And here is the key point. We, the university, are not free from this situation. We can't just wait for the paradigm shift to complete and then adjust our curricular. Our students need career paths right now. They are graduating this semester, next semester, next year. That's why I am thinking that we proactively prepare students for a world where AI-powered entrepreneurship is viable career option. Instead of waiting for the company to create new job categories, we can help our students create their own opportunities. This brings me to an analogy I found very, I think, compelling. That is YouTube. Before YouTube, video content production was controlled by a small number of entities like film studios and broadcasting stations with massive budget, professional equipment, and large teams. In the past, if you want to create or distribute the video content, you needed access to this infrastructure. It was essentially impossible for an individual. But as you might know, after YouTube, everything changed. People say that YouTube democratized video production. Certainly, individual, anyone could create content from their home or wherever they are traveling and distribute it globally and earn real income. They make money. An entirely new creator economy emerged because of the YouTube platform. I think AI is doing the exact same thing for software and digital services. In the past, building IT product and services required large development team, expensive infrastructure, and years of specialized training. It was the domain of well-funded companies and highly skilled engineers. Now, AI enables anyone, including students, to build app and services with minimal coding, distribute them through App Store and the web, and earn income from them. So we are standing at the beginning of a new creator economy for software and services. The question is, are we going to prepare our students to participate in it? Let me make the contrast even more concrete by comparing the old way, what I did in the past, and the new way of building product nowadays. The old way, you had to learn programming for years, not just one language, but entire technology stacks. You had to build and maintain your own infrastructure, servers, database, networking. So you needed to hire sometimes entire development team because one person simply couldn't do everything. So you had to raise capital early just to get started because the upfront costs were enormous at the time. And even after all that, it took months to launch even a minimal viable product. But nowadays, no-code platform, for example, lets you build a working application through visual interface, no programming required. Also, vibe coding lets you describe what you want in the plain English, and AI write the code for you. AI-assisted development tool handle debugging, testing, and development. Cloud services like Amazon Web Service, Google Cloud eliminate the need to build infrastructure from the scratch. And with all of these tools combined, you can launch a working product in days, not months, even by yourself. Let me break down the three pillars of AI-powered developments that are making this possible. So first pillar, the no-code platform. These let you drag and drop interface, connect the database visually, and deploy app instantly. It's all without writing a single line of code. Platforms like Flow, Bubble are making this accessible to anyone. This is a perfect for beginners who have a great idea but limited coding experience. And vibe coding, this is a newer concept where instead of writing code manually, you describe what you want in a natural language and AI write the code for you. You iterate through the conversation, refining and improving. So like cloud cursors, this is incredibly powerful for intermediate developers who understand the logic but may not know every syntax detail. And third pillar, AI-powered development environments. These are full-stack AI-assisted IDE that can generate entire project, handle automated testing, and debugging. You can manage end-to-end development. So I think Cloud Code or Google Jules or Google Anti-Gravity would be the similar tool that belong to these categories. But now, here's the important point. Even though AI tool are making, or no-code tool or AI tool are making IT development accessible to non-technical people, to you with the IT background, with formal training in computer science and information system, still have a significant advantage. You understand the architecture, security, scalability, and user experience at the level that non-technical users don't. So you are the one who can take the working prototype and turn this into a polished production-ready product. That's your competitive edges. So again, you're the one who can take working prototype and turn it into polished production-ready product and services. That's your competitive edges. So let me share some real success story that illustrate what's possible. You might hear this story. The photo AI was built by a single founder who used AI tool to create AI-powered photo generation service. So no team, no venture capital at the start. That service now generates over $100,000 per month in revenue. No mailing list. It was created by a very small team as a platform for remote workers or digital nomads. It started as a side project and later grew into a profitable business. It served hundreds of thousands of users worldwide. And Kyle AI, this is perhaps the most inspiring example for the students. It was started by high school students at the coding camp. Of course, they were interested in coding already, but they met at the coding camp and formed a team and built an AI-powered calorie tracking app. That project has grown to approximately 30 employees nowadays. The message here is clear. Age and background, these no longer limit entrepreneurship. What matters is the idea, the willingness to execute, and access to the right tool. As you can see, high school students are doing this. So of course, you guys, the university students, can absolutely can do this. Now I want to pursue. I want to pause here. I want to pause here and be very honest with you about what I am not saying today. I'm not asking you I'm not asking you to become a highly skilled, self-motivated unicorn developer who build the next billion-dollar company. I think that's the fantasy that applies to maybe 1 in a million people. I'm not pushing you towards the paths that require exceptional talent, extreme effort, and even luck to succeed. Most startup advice is based on those rare cases, but that's not the realistic advice for most people. So what I'm saying is much more practical and grounded. If you have even a little talent and interest in programming, there is a now realistic and achievable path to entrepreneurship. AI has been lowering the bar dramatically. So I want to explain rest of the time what specific knowledge and skill you should learn to walk this path successfully. And I want to discuss what role the university should play in supporting students on this journey. So let's get into the practical detail. My first piece of advice is simple, but I think critical. Start small and start now. Don't wait for the perfect idea. Don't wait until you feel ready. Just start today. Build simple app and services. It doesn't have to be revolutionary. Just build a utility app. Create a simple automation tool. Make something useful for your friends, your family, your community. The goal at this stage is not to make money, is to build something real and learn from the process. I want you to learn from this process. Next, stay up to date with AI tool. This is absolutely essential. The AI landscape evolves weekly, sometimes daily. Tools that didn't exist last month might be exactly what you need, and keep learning the latest platform and techniques. What was difficult or expensive to build last month may be easy today because of new tools. This learning will minimize your development cost and time by using the best available tool. And next, get real feedback. Don't build alone. Don't build in isolation. Share your work with the people around you, like a classmate, friends, family. Or you can post on online community like a GitHub. Feedback is how you learn what works and what doesn't. The real user response are definitely more valuable than your own assumptions. Next, iterate and improve. Treat every version as the learning opportunity. With the AI tools, each iteration is cheaper and faster than ever before. The rapid iteration is your competitive advantage. Test, learn, adjust, and repeat. Now, building products or services require more than just technical skill. This is something I, as a business professor in IT area, want to emphasize strongly. You need a well-rounded foundation that goes beyond coding to be entrepreneur. The first one, of course, up-to-date AI tool. I emphasized this one before. You need to master the latest AI development platform. This will be core competency. And emerging technologies. Don't limit yourself just to software. Learn about other emerging technologies such as IoT sensors, drone, wearable devices. smart glasses, even 3D printing. Try to combine them together. The most interesting startup opportunity often emerge at the intersection of software and the physical technologies. And business basic, this is where many technical students struggle. So you need to understand customer, market, financial literacy. Also, you need to know how business actually work, not just how to build the technology, but how to build something people will pay for. And soft skill, the communication, persuasion, teamwork, adaptability, these matter enormously. If you can't explain your product to your customer, pitch to an investor, or collaborate with the co-founder or business partner, you can't leverage your technical skill. So here's the important mindset. It is not about which tools or method is the best. It is about effectively solving problem using whatever works. So let me get specific about the technical and digital skills you should develop. I think already you have most of this skill. So programming and app development. So you need to learn at least one of the programming language. And you don't need to be an expert in all of this, but you should be comfortable with at least one of these. Then AI and data analytics, machine learning basic, prompt engineering, business analytics. You don't need a PhD in machine learning, but you need to understand how this works well enough to use them effectively and debug issues when they happen. Cloud computing, AWS, Google Cloud, Azure. The cloud services are what makes possible for a single person or a small team to deploy services at scale without building infrastructure. So learn at least one of these platform well. In cybersecurity and privacy, this is crucial. If you are building product that handle user data, you must understand security fundamentals. One data breach can destroy your business overnight. And other technologies, IoT sensors, drone, smart glasses, wearable devices. So these create new opportunity for hardware software integrations that can differentiate your product in the market. So study was possible beyond pure software. To be an entrepreneur, technology alone is not enough. You need to understand how to operate and grow business. First, business model design. You need to understand the value proposition, customer segment, and revenue models. How will you make money? Who is your customer? Why would why would your customer pay for your solution instead of alternatives? Second, project management. Even if you are working alone, structured project management helps you to stay focused and deliver the product on time. Financial literacy, budgeting, funding, cost analysis, and investment planning. You need to understand basic accounting, how to manage cash flow, and how to present financial projection to the potential investor. Marketing strategy, the branding, digital marketing, customer acquisitions. So building a great product is only a half of the battle in the market. If nobody knows about your product, it doesn't matter how good your product is. Operation and supply chain, efficiency, scaling process, and resource management. As your startup grows, you need the system to handle increasing demand without everything falling apart. Next, let's talk about entrepreneurial and innovation skill. This skill help you move from having an idea to actual executing on it. First one, opportunity recognition, learning to identify real problems. So these are valuable to solve. So this can be trained. Look around your community, your campus, your daily life. What frustration do people have? What processes are inefficient? And next one, creativity and critical thinking. Generating ideas is easy, but evaluating them rigorously is hard. You need both the creative ability to imagine solution and analytical discipline to determine which ones are the best one. Design thinking. This is a user-centered problem-solving framework, so I will dive deeper later. So this is one of the most valuable framework for student entrepreneur, I think. And MVP developments, the rapid prototyping and market validations. So build the simplest version that tests your core hypothesis. Don't spend months perfecting something before finding out if anyone wants it. And pitching and fundraising. So communicating your value to investor, crowdfunding platform, and potential partner. So this is a skill that require practice. Your technical skill will not help you here. So you need clarity, persuasion, and storytelling ability. Next, growth strategy, the scaling up and managing change in the fast-moving startup environments. And let me add the last one, the soft skill and leadership. So these are equally critical, the clear communication, teamwork across technical and business discipline, adaptability in the face of uncertainty, resilience after setback, and ethical awareness for responsible AI use. So these are not optional. I think these are essential. So I want to talk about the design thinking in detail in this slide. Design thinking is very crucial because it is one of the most powerful framework. So let me walk through these 5 steps. Emphasize. Observe real problem and understand the people experiencing them. So don't assume you know what people need. Go out and watch. Listen. Ask questions. Understand their pain point from their perspective, not your assumption. Next one, define. Take what you've learned and clarify the core problem you want to solve. Well-defined problem is half the solution. Be specific. For example, people need better app. For what? Too vague. Local restaurant owner waste 3 hours per week to managing recipe inventory manually. This is actionable, right? I did. Third one, generate creative solution, brainstorm freely, don't judge idea at this stage. Quantity is very, very important. You need to narrow down to the most promising concept based on this analysis. The prototype, to build quick testable versions. And here is where AI completely changed the game. What used to take weeks of development can now be done in days or even hours. Use AI tool to rapidly create working prototypes. And next, test, get your prototype in front of real users. collect feedback, learn what works and what doesn't, then iterate this process. Here is the key insight. AI accelerate every step of this process. You don't need a product manager to handle this process. You can use AI for user research analysis, brainstorming ideas, generating prototype, building test version, and even analyzing the user feedbacks. So what used to take a full product life cycle of weeks or months can now be compressed into days. This speed of iteration is your greatest advantage as a student entrepreneur. Now, let me help you think about different type of business model you can explore. The first one is product model, the physical or digital product. It could be smart accessory, organizational tool, IoT devices, combining with IT infrastructure. So think about everyday frustrations, disorganized workplace, inefficient home system. And software model, the app and digital tool, the personal data management, productivity app, AI utility. So this can be the example. And service model, on-demand service and solutions, local business optimization, logistic booking systems, and community model, the platform that connect people, social network for specific communities, marketplace for professionals. Think about the group of people who need to find each other, but currently don't have a good way to connect them together. So traditional B2C business to customer revenue model include advertising, subscription fee, and one-time purchase price. But I want to introduce you to another area that I think is especially promising for students, the B2B model for small business. So this is the most exciting opportunity I see for the students. I want to spend some time on it. So let me clear about what I'm proposing here. This is not about building the next viral consumer app with millions of users overnight. What I'm describing is much more achievable, using UIT skill to help real business right in your community, in your neighbor. So this is the concept. You provide optimized custom solutions for local small business at lower cost. Here's the mess. If you if AI cut your development cost and time to almost zero, you can charge a local restaurant, for example, $1,000 per customer inventory management app implementation and $10 per month for maintenance. And still, you can make a good money. And you can scale that to 10 to 20 clients later, and you have real business. This is opportunity. Most small business lack IT team entirely. They solve business problem manually. They use pen, paper, spreadsheet. They need, for example, restaurant recipe management system, appointment booking tool, inventory tracker, customer communication platform. These are the problem waiting for you to solve them. So here is the mindset shift. Think of yourself not just as a developer, but as an IT consultant. You identify the client pain point, understand their business, and build a solution with AI. You become their technology partner. And if one of these solutions prove effective enough to generalize, that's when you can scale up and attract investment and expand. Yeah, attract investment. So let's talk about funding to scale up your business. Many IT startup begins with zero capital, and that's perfectly fine. But once your products start taking off, it is important to understand how venture capital actually work. This summarizes the topic from general perspective, although the details may vary depending on the situation. So first one, pre-seed stage, it is the ideation stage. Your goal is validate the idea and build an initial prototype or MVP, minimum viable product. Funding typically comes from personal saving, family, friends, or small university grants. And seed stage, now you've tested the product in the market and you're looking for product market fit. You have an MVP and some early users. This is where angel investor and accelerator comes in. And Series A, so your product is proven and you need capital to scale operation. The focus shifts to monetization, KPI, and optimizing your business model. And Series B and C, so rapid expansion and market dominant stage. So you have a strong customer base and predictable revenue. So investment support international growth and acquisition. Next, exit stage. So IPO, acquisition, or merger. So this is where founders and all the investors realize their profit. One more critical point I want to mention is some area require professional expertise that goes beyond what students can learn on their own. So don't try to do everything yourself. First one is cybersecurity. This is essential. If you are building product that handle user data, security vulnerability can destroy your startup overnight. A single data breach can result in legal liability, loss of your customer, complete business failure. So please consult security professional early in your development process, not after you've already launched it. Legal and regulatory compliance, the business registration, intellectual property protection, data privacy regulation, industry-specific compliance requirements. These are complex areas where mistakes can be very expensive. So get proper legal guidance. And business entity formation. So setting up an LLC or C Corp, S Corp. So this will protect your personal asset if the business faces legal issue. It's also essential when raising fund, signing contract, or bringing on partner. So nowadays you can just create your own LLC by clicking the button on the website. The message here isn't that you need the expensive lawyer. You don't need the expensive lawyer or a consultant, but you do need to be aware of this area and seek professional help at the appropriate stage of your startup journey. Before I transition to discuss the university's role, I want to reframe how we think about failure. This is critically important. The failure is not sunk cost. This is definitely investment for the future success. Here is why this matters. AI tool dramatically reduce the cost of each attempt. What used to cost tens of thousands of dollars and months of work can now be done for almost nothing in days. This means failure is cheaper than ever before. Every failed iteration teach you something valuable about market, about user, and about technologies. So this knowledge accumulate over time. The student who has tried and failed 5 times know definitely more than the student who has never tried at all. The goal is not to avoid failure, is to create system or environment of repeated experiment where each failure makes you smarter, faster, and better positioned for success. Think about this, think about it this way. Transform repeated failure from sunk cost and frustration into investment and stepping stone toward your success. What you need is a system that turns repeated failure into foundation for repeated success. So this is exactly, I believe, what the university comes in. The university can provide a safe environment, the resources, and the institutional support that make this possible without personal financial devastation. So I believe university must play a substantial role in supporting student entrepreneurship. I'm calling this concept as a startup business as a service. This sounds like a cloud computing service, right? Like SaaS, PaaS, IaaS, infrastructure as a service. So what make this startup business as a service platform different from the traditional entrepreneurship program? So traditional program at university tend to be heavy and project based. So I provide more light way to do so. Students bring their own idea, build real product, and experience the entire startup life cycle. So I believe this ecosystem should provide these 6 key elements: shared resources, cloud computing service, 3D printer, for example, IoT labs. By sharing these resources through the university, students can reduce individual upfront cost. And mentoring, the faculty and industry mentor who guide students from ideation through commercialization. AI-powered tool to access, allow student access to the latest AI development platform and train them how to use them effectively. And risk reduction, safe environments where students can experiment, fail, and learn without personal financial devastation. Accumulated learning, the institutional memory of a past project. What worked? What didn't work? Why? And industry connection, so partnership with business that see value in investing in the future talent and collaborations. So what you are seeing here is the complete startup business as a service framework. So I'm now proposing this framework to my university and change the organization. Okay, so this is the end of my presentation. Any question? Okay, end, let me stop sharing.
Professor Kim, this is Morgan
Hello,
Zantula.
Morgan.
Hi, what you're saying is rather music to our ears here. One of the things that, from my background, is you learn more from failing than you do from succeeding the first time.
Yep.
And I put a couple of thoughts in the chat because I didn't want to forget them, and I'll ask
Uh,
Harrison to make sure that they get covered. One question I really do have, and I'm glad you brought this up, is security, the
mhm.
cybersecurity. But also, my question is, what about the security of the coding? Because vibe coding is easy, and from a cybersecurity perspective, the coding is not secure.
Right, absolutely. So this is the area I think the your computer science student can contribute. Nowadays or in the future, many non-expert will build their application using AI without no knowledge in the security. So your students, computer science student, can contribute this area. Students have to enhance the performance, stabilize also the code based on their knowledge, what they learned from university.
We had someone come in, I believe it was last quarter, who was a
Mhm,
20-year veteran of computer science and software development. And the one thing that occurred to at least some of us during the presentation is that AI is going to mean that you don't really have to write the code, but you have to know the code even better because you got to fix it. So, how do
mhm,
you propose universities make sure that the students have that high level of critical thinking and knowledge base with coding?
mhm. Actually, I'm in the business school, so our students' coding knowledge is very lower than the students in computer science major. So I recommend my student to get some help from the student in computer science major. But you guys don't have this curriculum in your program, teach the software security.
Oh, yes, we have it. We
Uh-huh.
have it. You know, the concern I have, and
Mm-hmm.
I believe that your university is also a center of academic excellence. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that a lot of people are thinking that they don't need the foundationary skills, or right now in the Puget Sound area, we're dealing with 30,000 tech people who have been laid off
Uh-huh.
because everybody
Yeah.
thought that AI is going to do it for them, and it
Mm-hmm.
isn't.
Mm-hmm.
So my concern is that everybody realize that, yeah, it's great to use AI, but you really have
Mm-hmm.
to have a solid foundation.
Yeah, that is what people say nowadays. But also people say that eventually that foundational will be covered by AI. So that is what they say. But actually, currently, we need it. I agree with you.
And honestly, if I truly believed that, then OWASP wouldn't still be around after all these years.
Right, right. I agree.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I hope some people, other people have questions.
Mhm.
Yes, so we got a question from David, and then the other one from me, and uh, cool. So we'll start with David.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Hello?
Okay, I can hear you, David.
So my question is like kind of to add on to Professor Morgan's question, like what are some key things that we can do to upskill? For those that are not business savvy and like we want to contribute to the labor force, right? Like what are
Hmm.
some things that we can upskill ourselves? Because like I have like I have two certificates in cybersecurity and security
Uh-huh.
plus. I'm getting
Uh-huh.
like a couple more like on top
Yeah.
of like you know
Hmm. Hmm.
pursuing my graduate degree. But as far as AI is concerned, right?
Uh-huh.
And the software security side, how do I upskill to make like my presence noticeable to like potential employers that are
Hmm.
doing this, building these
Yeah.
products.
Hmm. So what I'm talking today is not upscale, upscale.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about getting a job in some corporation, getting a job in Microsoft. I'm talking launching your own business,
Purely
entrepreneurship.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So in this topic, Another important area you should learn is business. As I listed before, entrepreneurship, supply chain management, ideation, these kind of things. So when you become an entrepreneur, the founder of a startup company, technical aspect is very important, but also you have to know the business aspect. If you don't know, no matter how you have great service or app, you will eventually fail.
Yeah.
There's what I want to say. So to do so, but you don't need to get MBA degree to learn the business. Nowadays, also AI help you. If you have some question regarding the business area, just consult AI. Having a conversation with AI will help you. That is what I'm teaching now in business school as well. So I want you to aware the area, the business area, beyond the technical area. That is what I want to emphasize today, to be an entrepreneur. This is not getting a job in the Microsoft, Amazon Web Service. Yeah, I'm talking different topic today.
Just in entrepreneurial in general with AI, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And then I believe we have Fu. And then after that, Morgan can get back to your questions.
Yeah, so thank you for the resonance. It's very great. I like the YouTube analogy. I guess my question was about a business side when you mentioned.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
You mean it?
That you're muted, I think.
Oh, hello.
Hey, it should say something, David.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Fu? Yeah.
Yes. So my question is about business side for regulation and like set up an LLC. Like I to know more about regulation. Usually, it's like we need to know the people, or we need to hire someone to know more about the regulation. So I just wonder what's the in building the app, or like when we start involving a lot more regulation. Like
So,
when should we start learn more about regulation in our process to launching an app?
so you mean the setting, for example, setting the LLC for your business?
Yes, setting LLC and get have a
Yeah.
lawyer or someone to know about the
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
regulation or
uh-huh.
what.
Yeah, there are two different things, setting LLC and getting the lawyer. So I'm not talking about the getting a lawyer. So you have to know about the regulation area. So maybe you can chat with generative AI regarding the regulation. So for example, you can ask ChatGPT, I'm going to build this app. So is there any regulation issue, expected regulation issue, kind of things. When you design the service, you have to think about this regulation, data privacy issue at the beginning. That is what I'm saying. So you don't need to hire the lawyer at the beginning. So maybe when you launch officially the product, I think you can consult with a lawyer. But what I'm saying is you have to aware this area and think about it. And also setting LLC nowadays you can I did also you can easily set up the LLC by clicking some button via the website. So once you set up the LLC, you can be protected. So you can easily get the investments because the investor invests the money not to you, to LLC. So check the possibility of making LLC or C corp S corp based on the purpose of your business.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, and then we have Morgan with her questions, and then after that, Jenny will be the last person Good question. Hi, Morgan. I think she might be in the middle of transportation, so
Uh,
yeah, she got cut up. If that's the case, we'll have Jenny go with your questions, and then when Morgan's back, yeah.
okay. And also, please share my email with the students, and yeah, they can ask me any question whenever they want. Hello, Jenny.
Hi, I'm Jenny. Thank you for providing the valuable presentation, Dr. Kim.
Okay.
So it is very interesting topic, belongs to our student as well. So I wonder, can we know more about the information or the strategy? So you said that like find the expert. So wonder like student club, the Morgan pointed out in the chat, or the alumni, or if there is some questions about the, how they can build their own like small businesses,
Mm-hmm.
they, or
Uh-huh.
finding the external or internal funding opportunities, and what is the examples you can provide to the student?
Yeah, that is the reason why I propose this framework. Actually, currently,
Mm-hmm.
as you addressed, there are not many resources you can have, right? Isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, therefore, this is the reason I actually provide this. Okay, hold on a second. Can you see the slide?
Yes, I can see the slide clearly.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, we don't have enough resources nowadays. Yeah, we have to find it by yourself individually, or you have to
Yeah.
find a student club
Mm-hmm.
and contact any people in the companies, venture capitalists individually. So nowadays, I'm proposing this framework to my university and
Mm-hmm.
hope other university also adopt this one. The main point is this one. The left side, the Office for Business Idea Commercialization. So this organization should cover this topic, support small project funds and cross-disciplinary collaboration. So for example, you guys in computer science work with student in business. So collaborate this project,
Mm-hmm.
or arrange this team and faculty mentoring, guidance, and institutional memory project. So accumulate the knowledge of the prior project. Student graduate 4 years ago, 5 years ago. That is the role and curriculum. So I'm proposing now some several courses to university. So one is AI and no code digital startup. And also I'm proposing master certificate program
Mm-hmm.
and also external learning opportunity. So startup simulation, capstone, industry collaboration, mentoring, so internship, co program, campus startup and club. So I know that as an undergraduate student, it is very difficult to get all these resources. So nowadays, I'm insisting that we, the university, have to prepare these resources to my students.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jenny. And I believe that should be all for today. Once again, thank you everybody for coming, and thank you, Dr. Kim, for your presentation. Those were some really helpful information and tips and advices for a student who wants to start a business and probably looking
Mhm.
for another way to, um, you know, get a job, or actually creating your own jobs through your own business ventures, and some few things to look out for when you open a business. in the
Okay.
technology field.
I know that you guys are very busy to study as a student, but just get small part of your time to develop something. That happen in company as well. When I work for the company, I have mainstream job, but I have also small substream job. So if this substream job becomes major, then this one become my mainstream. So like this, you have to study, right? But also I want you to develop something small and share this application or service with your friends, neighbor, or classmate and update it. I want you to have this kind of a habit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
thank you for your time and thank you for the
Yeah.
invitation.
thank you, Dr. Kim. For all the participations today, participation, I will send you Dr. Kim's emails, and if you have any further questions, you may, as Dr. Kim said, you may contact him later. Um, if you have any further questions. Anyways, thank you everybody for coming here today, and have a great evening.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.